Hey class, Mr. Orr here. Today we're going to talk about multiplying decimals. Now I've got two problems here drawn on the board for you, or drawn up for you that I'm going to do that I want to focus on. The first one is 52 hundredths times 40, or 0.52 times 40. Now the first thing we need to do is add that placeholder 0 in front of the 4. Once we get that placeholder 0 in front of the 4, we can set the problem up. Once you have the placeholder 0 in, as you see, you're going to remove the decimal. So once the decimals are removed, it makes it easier for us to solve the problem by removing those decimals. So now you'd have it looking 052 times 040. But don't forget the decimals. You're going to have to bring them back later. Next thing you want to do is you want to line the problem up. We draw the lines and line the problem up. This makes it easier for decimal alignment. That way no number gets out of place and you're able to line up the decimal. Next thing we want to do is multiply. So the first row is 052 times 040. The first row is, of course, is 0. So it's 0 times 2 is 0. 0 times 5, of course, is 0. And 0 times 0 is 0. We'll go to the second row, and before we can even multiply, we will add the placeholder 0 there again. Then we'll do 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 5 would be 20. So we'll put the 0 down, we carry the 2. 4 times 0 is 0 plus 2, of course. Mr. Orr forgot to add the 2 there, so just give me 1 second while I add the 2. You'd add the 2 right there, and you have 2080. The last multiplication, again, is a 0, but because we're 2 spots down, we're going to add 2 placeholder zeros right there. So 0 times 2, of course, is 0. 0 times 5 is 0. 0 times 0 is 0. The next thing we want to do is add all these up. So 0 plus 0 plus 0 is, of course, 0. 0 plus 8 plus 0 would be 8. 0 plus 0 plus 0 again is 0. And 2 plus 0 is 2. 0 plus 0, of course, is 0. So now we've got to replace the decimal. And let's come all the way back up here. And we're going to count 2 numbers behind the decimal, 1 and 2. 2 spots behind your decimal. So what that means is you need to come back down here. And from the right, you'll move 2 spots in. Your decimal will go between the 0 and 8. The final number being 20 and 8 tenths. We get rid of that back 0 and we get rid of that front 0 and we make it 20 and 8 tenths. Once again, if you have any questions on this form, you can always ask me in the Google Classroom. I'll be able to answer. Now let's look at another one where we don't have to add the placeholder. It's a little bit different. It's 1 and 6 tenths and 2 times 2 and 9 tenths. So since we have no placeholder zeros to add, we'll remove the decimal. Now we're going to line up our problem. Remember, we line it up to make sure the decimal's in the right spot when we solve it. Then we're going to solve it, of course. 9 times 6 is 54. Carry that 5. 9 times 1 is 9 plus 5 is 14. Then we come down here, we add the placeholder 0. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 1, of course, is 2, plus that 1 we carried is 3. So now we have 144 and 320. We've got to add. 4 plus 0 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. 3 plus 1 is 4, giving us 464. Now we have to replace the decimal. So let's go back up and look and see what we had 2 numbers behind the decimal. It's a little different this time. We had 1 here and 1 here. So 2 numbers behind the decimal. So let's scroll back down and we would move it to the right 2 spots. Your answer would be 4 and 64 hundredths. These are 2 very basic ways to solve these problems. This will be up in your Google Classroom under videos and streams. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me via Google Classroom. Mr. Orr will answer them as soon as he can. Once again, I hope you're well. I miss seeing your smiling faces every day, and I hope to get back with you soon.